Ranking new movies and TV shows coming out this December by how excited I am for them. In last place is Mufasa the Lion King. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard for me to get myself to go to the theater and watch this thing just to make a review for it. You know how I feel about live action remakes, but at least in other ones there's actually people doing real acting. This is a quote unquote live action remake where we're still watching animated CGI animals, except it looks 10 times more dull and boring than the original Lion King. If this was just in the original animation style, I'd be 10 times more excited for it, but sadly it's not, and I cannot get myself to care for this thing. The trailers just look so bland and dull. It's going to be a complete disaster of a film. In last place easily. At number 9 is Kraven the Hunter. We all know what to expect from these Sony villain movies at this point, and it's nothing good. The only reason I'm a little bit hopeful for this movie is that it did get an R rating, so it doesn't seem like they're going to be holding back on the action, and we might get some really cool kills in this at least that will make it at least entertaining. Aaron Taylor Johnson is a lot of fun, so hopefully this is just enjoyably bad because it's so stupid with some entertaining kills, unlike the other Sony movies that are just so painful to sit through, like Morbius. Number 8 is A24's Y2K. This is a new horror movie starring Rachel Ziegler about Y2K, which was pretty much when the year 2000 was coming up. Everybody thought at New Year's all the computers and stuff weren't going to know how to react because they were used to like the 1990s and all that. So in this horror movie, pretty much like, yeah, the technology is actually rising up and killing people. The trailer for this looks so stupid, but again, hopefully so stupid that it's at least fun. 7 is the new Star Wars coming of age show Skeleton Crew. Now I am excited to see Jude Law in this, and the rest of the vibe seems like it's going for kind of like a Goonies, kind of like a E.T. coming of age story. That's what a lot of the promotion is leaning into, going for like that 80s vibe. I'm not gonna lie, if they can properly capture that kind of nostalgic vibe and just give us a nice breath of fresh air of a Star Wars TV show, that would be much appreciated, especially after things like The Acolyte. We need something just new and fresh. I do like they've already come out and jokingly said like Jude Law is not secretly playing Palpatine. There's not going to be any huge connections or cameos to other worlds. We're just telling a story about this new set of characters, which is what I think these need to be. I don't think the trailer looks particularly amazing, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Number 6 is Secret Level. This is starting in December. It's going to go into next year, but this is pretty much going to be a different set of episodes where every single episode is covering a different video game taking place in their world. Things like Pac-Man, Mega Man, Warhammer, and stuff that I think will make really cool episodes, but there's also other ones that just kind of don't make a lot of sense at all. That's kind of why it's lower on this list. For some reason, there's an episode on the complete flop of a PlayStation game Concord in this that doesn't even exist anymore, pretty much. Number 5 is James Gunn's Creature Commandos. This is the start of the brand new DCU going forward. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about these characters, but it seems like a kind of laying the foundation for a Suicide Squad and kind of a similar vibe, but animated. I do really like the art style for this. I think it looks very good from the trailers. For the story and stuff, I don't know anything about these characters, and it seems like a very weird way to start off a brand new universe. Like, I understand it's an animated show, it's only going to be for more niche fans anyways, but why not just start the universe with the James Gunn Superman movie and then put this out after it? Hopefully this will be surprisingly good, kind of build up a cult following that gets a lot of people more excited for this new version of the DCU. I have faith in James Gunn. I think he's going to cook with it. One important thing to know about this show is that James Gunn clarified anything that's mentioned in this or other DCU projects about past DC things are officially canon. So for example, if they mention the Suicide Squad movie that came out, it is officially canon to the new DCU. Same with like Peacemaker. If they make a reference to something that happened in that show in this, it's canon. If they don't talk about it ever in the new DCU projects, then it doesn't count. Kind of a confusing way to go about it, but I think it might work. And number 4, I have Sonic 3. It's no secret I'm not the biggest fan of the first two. I think they're just perfectly fine, mildly entertaining movies. Sonic himself is very fun because Ben Schwartz is incredible as the voice, but I think Sonic 3 easily looks like it's going to be the best of the trilogy, and it's pretty much all because of Shadow. He is an amazing character who's going to bring a much needed contrast to Sonic. I think the dynamic between these two is going to be incredible in the movie. Keanu Reeves is also incredible. It seems like he actually is really excited about this voice role and gave a lot into it, and we know there's going to be Jim Carrey just having an absolute blast in this movie. He's my favorite part of the first two movies, and now we're going to have 2 Jim Carreys running around this. I'm excited for it. Number 3 is Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim, the new anime Lord of the Rings movie taking place hundreds of years before the Fellowship of the Ring. I think this looks really good, and I've been a huge advocate. I think animation is the perfect medium for new fantasy stories to be told, even though the first Lord of the Rings trilogy is obviously a masterpiece. Still, I always said things like Harry Potter and stuff like that, it would make a lot more sense for these fantasy worlds to be animated. It just opens you up to limitless possibilities, and I do really like the art style. We're gonna have to see how it plays for an entire movie. I hope they didn't cheap out on the animation. It needs to actually look like a big Hollywood feature just animated, especially with other films coming out this year like The Wild Robot and Moana 2 that look incredible. Just hoping the animation's good and the story's compelling, because I'm all for new Lord of the Rings content that's not the Rings of Power. Number 2 is Timothy Chalamet's A Complete Unknown, where he's playing Bob Dylan, the Bob Dylan biopic. Now, do I care about his music at all? I'm not gonna lie, I really don't. Like, he has some good songs, but I'm not a fan of him in any way, shape, or form. And I'm gonna be honest, if you ask me, I am pretty tired of all these like musical biopics lately. Timothy Chalamet is kind of on an all-time generational run of being in both great movies and giving amazing lead performances in them, so it's kind of purely because of that I'm excited. The trailers actually look really good, and I'm invested, and like I said, I'm not interested in Bob Dylan. Let me know in the comments below what you're most excited for after all these I went through, but my number 1 is Nosferatu. Do we need a remake of the original? I don't know, but this looks absolutely incredible. Robert Eggers' visual style is crazy, and that is coming through in the trailer. The ambience and vibes of this world look so hauntingly amazing. As long as this script can actually match the quality of the visuals that we've seen so far of this movie from the trailers, this is going to be one of the best of the year, I feel like. And make sure to click my video right down below here where I ranked every new movie I watched in November and ranked them from worst to best.